25 years after the world declared that freedom of information is a fundamental human right, journalists are under increasing threat of official censorship, harassment, imprisonment, and even assassination. VOA's Richard Green has more from Washington on the current state of freedom of the press on the annual observance of World Press Freedom Day.
In its annual report on media independence around the world, the human rights watchdog group Freedom House says press freedom has plunged to its lowest point in 12 years, listing political, criminal, and terrorist forces as behind the decline. Among the countries singled out in the Freedom House report is Egypt, which has been identified as one of 9 countries with the largest decline in press freedoms in just 1 year. Egyptian journalist Khaled Dawood says President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's government believes the press should act as little more than a propaganda machine.
Our role is to provide objective and credible coverage of events that are taking place in Egypt, and the reality speaks for itself. It's not the media, it's not the journalists that create the reality. It's the wrong practices of the government, the wrong choices of the government that actually leads to the protests, and the people, it's not the media. So even if you keep on conveying all sorts of propaganda throughout the media, that's not going to be the way to solve Egypt's economic or political problems.
Tom Malinowski, U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for Democracy, Human Rights, and Labor, tells VOA that more than 70 journalists were killed around the world last year, while nearly 200 were imprisoned.
Where press freedom is denied, we are much more likely to see conflict and war. We're much more likely to see corruption. We're much more likely to see collapses in good governance.
The State Department is marking World Press Freedom Day by drawing attention to journalists previously identified as being persecuted because of their reporting and whose situations have not improved. Their cases are profiled on the website humanrights.gov and tweeted out under the hashtag #FreeThePress. Richard Green, VOA News, Washington.